Hi, good afternoon, good afternoon. Thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. For today, I'm going to be going over the weekly market outlook here with you guys for the week of February 10th till February 14th. And let's get right into the charts here. So whenever I do my weekly market outlook, I always start off with the dollar, and I always want to see what we're doing here on the dollar, right? So coming into this week on the dollar, I am anticipating here for this weekly candle to take out the weekly low. So I'm anticipating the next weekly candle based on this weekly candle here, right? That blue line is pointing towards. I am anticipating this next weekly candle to take out the previous week's low. Because keep in mind, or just pay attention to how we close here on this weekly candle, right? It's a rather bullish, or not bullish, but bearish weekly candle. And this means that I can anticipate for the weekly low to be taken. However, the one thing that I'm holding off on here is that the weekly candle is suggesting lower prices. However, on the daily time frame, based on this daily candle right here, I am not anticipating lower prices as of yet, right? This daily candle here that we created on Friday is an up close candle suggesting that we're going to rebalance this inefficiency here, this daily inefficiency. So coming into this week on the dollar, I'm bearish, but I'm going to wait until the daily time frame aligns itself with the weekly time frame, right? So like I said before, the daily time frame isn't exactly aligned with the weekly time frame yet. So right now isn't the right time for us to complete the weekly objective. And we actually just opened up here like 16 minutes ago, and we did have a gap up here on the dollar. So we gapped up and we ended up taking out previous day high as I was anticipating coming into the next day here on Monday, but we actually took it out during Sunday's opening, right? So now that we have completed the daily objective here for Friday, I would actually just use the intraday time frames such as the 4-hour, the 6-hour, the 8-hour, or the 10-hour time frame for some sort of intraday bias. But I can't use the daily time frame because the daily time frame's objective has been taken, right? And the weekly time frame, I'm bearish, but we have to get alignment between the daily time frame with the weekly time frame for me to actually implement the weekly order flow here. But yeah, that is my analysis here coming into the week for the dollar. Coming into the indices, however, so because we are seeing lower prices here on the dollar, or at least I want to see lower prices here on the dollar on the weekly time frame, we should be seeing higher prices on NQ and ES. But if you take a look at how we close here on the weekly time frame, so this is the previous weekly candle, right? It's not suggesting higher prices or lower prices. I'm not confident in if we're going to continue lower or higher here on the weekly time frame at least. However, the daily time frame, what is this daily candle suggesting to me here? Lower prices, right? I want to see us take out previous day low. So previous day low, or essentially Friday's low of day, is this. I'll make it a blue line. So I want to see prices complete the daily hour. I want to see prices take out Friday's low of day coming into the Monday of this week. However, with the opening price here on Sunday's open, we actually completed Monday's objective here, right? Already. So I can no longer use the daily time frame for a higher time frame bias. Nor can I use the weekly time frame too, because the weekly time frame, I'm not confident in the weekly time frames power of 3. It's the way that it closed. I can't really like pick a side here, right? So now that we have completed the weekly objective, or not completed the weekly objective, I can't use the weekly time frame, but now that we have completed the daily objective, I would actually elect to go on to possibly the 6-hour time frame, the 4-hour, the 8-hour, or the 10-hour time frames for some sort of intraday bias, right? And I actually wanted to see prices trade back inside this equilibrium of this dealing range here, denoted by this blue line. So from this daily swing low to this daily swing high, there is a dealing range, right? And some characteristics of a dealing range is that there's always going to be premium and discount. And in this case, the discount of the dealing range is at green box, and the premium of the dealing range is this red box right here. And if you are a seller in this case, you want to be a seller in the red box, you want to be a seller in premium. Think about it. If you are trying to sell some sort of product, right? Do you want to be selling your product at a high price or a low price? You want to get as much money as you want, right? You want to maximize your returns. So in this case, and vice versa for buyers. And if you're a buyer, you would want to be a buyer in discount. So if you applied those concepts to the stock market, right? Like I said, that dealing range, and there's equilibrium, and equilibrium separates premium and discount. So my objective coming into Monday's price action was for us to actually take out Friday's low of day and to expand towards the equilibrium of the dealing range. But like I said, with the way that we opened up here on Sunday's opening price, we actually have completed that objective already. So I can't really pick a side here anymore. Right? I can't rely on this daily time frame. So I'm just going to use, the 4-hour, 6-hour, 8-hour, or the 10-hour time frame for a intraday bias. And coming into ES, we actually have the same bias as well, right? Or the same, story. The weekly time frame here, the weekly candle here, I'm not confident in if prices wants to continue higher or lower here on ES as well, on the weekly time frame at least, because the way that we close on the weekly candle, I'm not confident in higher prices or lower prices, right? However, if I scope into the daily time frame, I notice here, hey, the way that we close here on this daily candle, denoted by the blue line, I can anticipate for us to take out previous day low, right? It's a down close candle, and it appears that the next daily candle will at least take out the previous daily low, which is what my objective was coming into Monday's price action. And I actually had a trade waiting here coming into Sunday's opening price, but after we take out Friday's low of day, I can't take this trade anymore. We actually gap down, completing the objective. So coming into this week here on the dollar, ES, and NQ, I don't necessarily have a bias. The dollar, I want to see lower prices. It's just the daily time frame isn't exactly aligned with the weekly time frame yet. So I'm going to wait until the lower time frames aligns itself with the higher time frames for me to actually push a button. And let's see here. Is there anything else I do want to cover? So one thing I did have, I really was confident in us taking out previous day low, was that NQ and ES did not have SMTs yet at the lows, right? So when we were trading here, right? Whenever we're trading on this candle, notice how there's no SMTs yet on the side. So this this swing low here on NQ. Notice this swing low on ES. It's the same swing low, and we actually didn't have any SMTs. There's no SMTs yet, so I wanted to see prices expand lower because of that idea that whenever there is SMT, usually a swing high or a swing low will be accompanied by SMT. But because there's no SMT, that means I can anticipate reverse psychology here. I can anticipate for a continuation lower. So there's actually like 3 reasons why I wanted to see lower prices coming into Monday at least. Was because the lack of SMT. Because I wanted to see prices retrace back into discount, and because the daily candle here on Friday closed bearish. But like I said, because we have already completed the daily objective without providing me a model, I'm going to have to pivot going into this week and not necessarily use the daily time frame coming into Monday. However, once a daily candle closes, then we have a new daily objective. But the current daily objective has already been completed, so I can no longer use the daily time frame. Let's take a look at the weekly economic calendar here. We have on Monday, we don't really have much news, but Tuesday we have Fed Chairman Powell testifying here at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And we have core CPI on Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern Time. And we also have another, conference where Fed Chairman Powell speaks or testifies at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Thursday and Friday, we have PPI and we have core retail sales. So this week, it is rather volatile. With all the news that is coming out this week, I would elect to see a lot of volatility coming into this week, a lot of price movement. But I have to rely on the daily closures for me to have some sort of higher time frame order flow here, because the weekly time frame on both NQ and ES are not necessarily providing me the information that I require. So that's going to be all for the weekly market outlook. Hopefully that gave you some insight on how I trade. But I will be live every single day this week at 8:30 Central Time a.m. And subscribe and join the live streams if you guys want to learn how to trade ICT concepts. Thank you guys so much, and next time, be safe.